G'day folks, it's Gert here from Aim Small again, and I'm back with something new again. So I've been pondering quite a while about 177s and slugs, and some of my previous videos I tested some slugs, and unfortunately the slug manufacturer that I had at that stage, H&N, did not perform well on my barrel. I went back to Jorg and Peter at H&N and I said, guys, what can I do? Is there something I'm doing wrong? The long and short of it is that I had a barrel made up for me. Let me just get it quickly. Right. I had a barrel specifically made up for the FX. Now this is a Lothar Walther barrel. It's got a little bit of a faster twist, but it's exactly the same length as the FX barrel I've got on the gun. So my question is it the slug or is it the barrel? Because we always tend to say, right, but shoot this slug is the best. I'm going to contradict something today, or try and prove something, that it's all about the barrel. It's not about the slug. Okay, so today's setup is going to be in a couple of ways. So I was very fortunate to get two different manufacturers' slugs, and I'm not going to name the manufacturers today because this is not about the slug. It's all about the barrel. Both of them are big manufacturers in Europe. That's all I'm going to say. And to be ultra unfair, I'm going to shoot it against a pellet as well. All three projectiles is going to run at the same weight at 13.4-ish type grain. So that should give us quite a nice comparison to start off with when it comes to weight. It should go out of the barrel approximately at the same speed. I want to eliminate harmonics as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot all three projectiles at 4 different speeds. Right, so in those speed ranges, you should find a sweet spot every now and then, and hopefully I can get a comparison there. I'm not going to shoot 50 groups and show you guys just the best of the best. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot 4 unedited groups with each barrel at the different speeds. So there's no take two, there's no reframe if I get it wrong, there's no such thing as, oops, let's do it again. This is raw footage, as you will see. So without further ado, let's give you guys the insights of today's shoot. Alright, so I'm at the 30 meter indoor range again. This is a private range. All the necessary precautions has been made to be able to shoot pellet guns safely here. First up, I'm going to shoot the FX barrel, 500mm. Now if I'm not mistaken, this is a 1in21 twist barrel. Standard, this is not the superior heavy liner. This is how I bought it. The gun is my FX Impact Mark II. And the only thing that I've changed on this is I put in a pellet probe. Sorry, pin probe, not a pellet probe, pin probe, probe. Alright, let's go for this. I'm going to shoot 1 or 2 sighters on the left hand side, and then I'm going to play around with the speed. Alright, that was the JSBs in 13.43 grain. Not really any groupings that you can think about, and I shot that all the way from 815 feet per second all the way to 950 feet per second. So there was enough oomph behind it to really make it fly, and I also shot it at a decent speed. So that's the FX barrel in a nutshell from the JSB perspective. Time to swap it and put one of the slugs in there and see what it does. As you can see, I had quite a variance in speed, all the way down to 850 feet per second, and that was a decent grouping. At 832 it slowly opened up, and the faster I pushed these 13.43 redesigned 177 pellets, the more the group started opening up, and that was at 943 feet per second. Alright, let's do something else. As with any new camera setup, I still need to learn the ropes a little bit. Alright, but this is slug A. Now these slugs have been in the market for quite some time. They are well established already. I'm going to shoot them on, again, 4 different power settings and see what is the best I can get out of them. Right, on the left hand side again, First my sighters, and you'll see that the first shot, that will be the difference between the JSBs and these unknown slugs. Not unknown, slug name A. Right, quickly do a shoot, sighter, and we can adjust the scope accordingly. That's not too bad, I'm going to keep it as is. Way too slow for those slugs. A little bit better speed, let's up it a bit more. Again, not brilliant. I know that Viking up in Europe with his 600mm barrel and his M3 has got a lot better results than that. But let's go and measure up, and then we go over to slug B. Well, if you're used to shooting pellets, this is not going to work for you, except for an exceptional group at 920 feet per second. Looks like everything just fell into place with that little group. That I can live with. Alright, interesting. Not too bad, not good either. Let's call it a maybe. Focus, focus, focus on me. Not you, the camera. Sorry guys. Alright, just shot my first, I just shot 3 sighters there. I actually don't know where to aim. But let's go through the motions. This is slug B. Alright, so as you can see, this barrel, this slug, it's an absolute no-go. No need to measure up that, no need to measure that up, pardon my French, English, alright. So, off camera, I'm just quickly going to exchange barrels, re-zero the scope because there's a massive point of impact shift between the two barrels. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, with a grouping like that, do I throw the slugs away? Or do I retest with a different barrel? Right, the new barrel is inserted. I'm ready to rumble. So this is the Lothar Walther, the Silver Fox. I'm going to shoot the JSB 13.4 green pellets first. Alright, interesting. These pellets grouped quite impressively until I pushed them a little bit too hard at 955, 960 feet per second. Then all of a sudden the redesign stabilized. I was actually quite surprised that it didn't stabilize at a slower speed already. But that's quite impressive. That's a long range in the sweet spot with these pellets. Let's go and measure up and then over to slug A. The LW, also now known as the Silver Fox, just simply outshot the FX from 715 feet per second all the way to 905 feet per second. Yes, it also opened up at 958 feet per second, but if I compare these two barrels, there is an absolute winner in the Silver Fox. Let's go and try those sluggies. It's getting nice and warm. I'm running around a little bit more than expected, but that's fine. All in the name of science. Right. Slug A, Silver Fox. Let's go. Now that was massively impressive. At close to 1,000 feet per second, a 177 slug, 13 grainers, that grouping, that I like. The Silver Fox, a hell of a lot better with slugs. But there's one more to go. Remember slug B that didn't want to group at all? Let's see if the Silver Fox can do anything better with it. Now this is where it gets extremely interesting. The FX barrel shot slug A exceptionally well at 920 feet per second, but the rest was iffy, whereas the Silver Fox shot 4 great groupings across all the speed settings. Now that is impressive. What's your thoughts about it? This will be slug B with the Silver Fox. I'm so out of breath. Groany on, everything is ready. Let's go. Let's quickly take a step back. Remember this grouping. This was the FX barrel, slug B. Now, for the same speed, just a different barrel. Alright, last one for today. This is slug B, Silver Fox. Let's see if it can do any better than the FX barrel. Oh, wow. 61. Alright, let's push it to max. 100. Now that is a barrel. Just look at the difference between the two barrels, the Lothar Walther barrel versus the FX barrel. And I know the guys at FX are not going to do a massive amount of work on the 177, it's not their target market. But from my perspective, shooting slugs out of an FX barrel, don't even waste your time. Custom built Lothar Walther barrel, oh my greatness, what a great barrel. On the previous one, and I'll put up the differences next to each other, it did not want to group at all, at no speed. I was having trouble hitting an A4 paper. That grouping at 985 feet per second, buonissimo. I think I'm in love with this barrel. Anybody wants to buy an FX barrel? Cheap, cheap. Can you believe it? This is the same slug at the same speed. The one with the FX barrel can't hit the paper. The one with the Silver Fox, some decent groupies. These are groupings or a slug or a barrel that I would love to test further. Go and shoot it at 50 and 75 meters. So watch this space. But this is a heck of a lot better. FX recently recruited Hein Frohnmann, who is one of the best guys when it comes to barrels. Hopefully, Mr. Frohnmann will work a little bit on the 177 barrels. Up until then, sorry guys, I'm going to use my FX barrel as a coat hanger.
That's all, folks.